The problem with Social Circle Game. We're going to talk about Social Circle Game because a lot of people have been selling courses on how to become a Social Circle superstar or something weird like that. Um, we're gonna discuss the problems with Social Circle briefly from my infinity pool rooftop penthouse that I've been staying in on and off for the last, say, 3 weeks. I've got a few guys here that are in the pickup, and we've kind of been utilizing this infinity pool. As you can see, it is a beautiful infinity pool overlooking the city. You can see that, can't you? And you can also probably see there's a blue sky there. It's 5:30 in the morning. The sun is just coming up. And up here on the deck here, we've been setting up a DJ and having little social circle parties. And now, I've always been aware of the dangers of Social Circle Game. There's multiple different levels of it, of course. If I'm going to have access to a nightclub, be a club promoter, fill my Instagram, social media with girls, promote the nightclub all the time, get all the girls to turn up, and then all the girls turn up, I become somewhat famous, and then guys want to come to my nightclub because they see me with a whole bunch of girls. It looks like there's an oversupply of girls and an undersupply of men. Next thing you know, they want to come and spend money in the nightclub wins, I become famous as a club promoter, etc., etc. You can see how that kind of setup would work. But what if you're watching Dan Blazarian and these other guys that have groups of girls around all the time, and they want to sell you a course on how to become your own little mini Dan Blazarian and have a bunch of girls around. How does that look? Well, if you have a look at this, I managed to, using my Instagram, have a lot of action on my Instagram, a lot of girls coming around, and I managed to find myself a beautiful 20-year-old yoga instructor. And yes, she is as beautiful as it sounds. I was the second guy she's ever slept with. It was magical for a brief period of time until what usually happens with Social Circle, and if you want to be a bit of a player, you want to sleep around, you sleep with her, you keep having little events, you set up the beautiful infinity pool, you entice different girls every night. Next thing you know, you're sleeping with a few different girls, and then you lose your favorite girl. And that's what happened to me recently, literally a couple of days ago. And my beautiful yoga instructor she only found out about one, but I don't know how she found out. I believe it might have been through my Instagram, someone through Instagram, something. Found out that I was taking girls back to my room, and so she goes off and chucks a major tantrum at me, and I tried to lie my way out of it. Of course, didn't work. Of course, and so what happened was I met a a beautiful 21-year-old med student. I like intelligent girls studying medicine. We had an instant connection. I had an instant connection with my yoga instructor. That was love too. It's love with my med student as well. But the thing is, the yoga instructor, because she's a good girl with a low body count, doesn't like drinking that much or partying. She's not using any dating apps or anything like that. She doesn't have fake boobs or childhood trauma, so she doesn't need to take drugs and need validation from tons of men through social media. Didn't like that because, well, she's a good girl. And so I lost her, got my med student now. But that's the dangers of social circle game. For any of you guys out there that are thinking that you're going to be the next Dan Blazarian, be fully aware that you sleep with one, you better have those parties going with a lot more girls coming, because you're going to lose your favorite girls all the time. It's going to continuously happen. And it's the same at uni too. You get yourself a group of friends at uni, a little social circle going. And you start dating one girl out of the group, and then you try to sleep with another girl out of the group. Everyone's going to hate you, and you're going to lose both of them. So you're stuck with one. The only way to survive that is you pick one and you stick with her. So how are you going to be able to sleep with new girls? What are you going to do? Cold approach? Well, then it gets back to what I'm talking about here, and this whole channel's about, is that you need to be learning cold approach. It solves all of your problems. Then you've got anonymity. You can build a rotation, and they don't need to know about each other. No one needs to find out. And I know a bunch of alpha red pill alpha men are going to say, don't ever lie to women. So you guys are living in the past. You're not a baby boomer. You're not living when the baby boomers were around, when it was a male-dominated society where they used to say mankind. Now Justin Trudeau calls it people kind and locks you in your bedroom if you get a cough. So the rules have changed, and so therefore you should adjust to the rules of the current game that we're playing. And it's a female-dominated society. Infrastructure's been built in the West. They no longer need men to do that. That's why they're slotting women into all of the managerial, HR, political positions, because they just don't need you anymore. The rules have changed. Adjust to it. Women for thousands of years have been lying to men. I love you so much, but really they were hungry. They didn't love you. They were just hungry. They needed a roof over their head. And now it's your turn, because you don't have any political power. You need to lie. You need to adjust to the rules of the system, and that's very much in line with cold approach and the anonymity that comes along with that. Social circle will eventually cockblock you in the end. If you are dating good girls, if you are dating girls, if you are sleeping with and dating girls worth dating. Then we get to the second aspect of this, is that when I look at the marketing material of these social circle legends, the vast majority of these guys have women that look like they're over 30 with massive fake boobs. And don't get me wrong, some girls over 30 are beautiful, but the type of woman that's out at a nightclub with you all the time, and she's got fake boobs and she's chasing validation from men all the time, and she needs to go out and party and probably have a drink, and she's the type of fun girl that when you take a photo or a video, she looks awesome in the photo or video. She jumps around and takes the top off and all that fun stuff that helps you with your marketing material, that brings in more clients and more leads. is she really girlfriend material? Is she really as awesome as my cute little med student that I just lost? I doubt it. My cute little yoga instructor that I just lost. Still got my med student though. She's awesome. And she's oblivious to everything, which is really how you should be playing this game. Having girls that are oblivious to you messing around on the side, because the system's rigged, people. The system is rigged. So the social circle girls that I see, they're not exactly girlfriend material. They got these big fake fat boobs. They're generally a little bit older, and the type of girls that seem to be, if they're a little bit lonely and sad on a Tuesday afternoon, and some dude sends them a DM and says he's going to pick them up in their Ferrari, and they're a bit sad because they're having a dopamine dump from the weekend, do you think they're going to say yes? What if you slept with her on the weekend and you're catching feelings because you're new to this social circle stuff? On Tuesday she's sleeping with Ferrari dude because she needs her hit. She doesn't care about you. And so then we get to possibly a good little story I might as well tell you guys, is that back in the day, I started out, I started life in the ghetto, and there was a period there where I wasn't necessarily dealing drugs, but I was taking a bit of weed and partying a bit too much in my early 20s. And I went out to a nightclub, and a couple of guys recognized me and started talking. I got invited back to like an after party at this girl's place. And just because I had like this extra status, because a few guys knew me, and I brought some weed, something as simple as that. The girl with the big boobs that was having the after party, I ended up passing out on the couch, and she comes and taps me on the shoulder and goes, "Oh, you want to come into my bedroom?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." And so we are going at it because she noticed that heaps of that I was kind of like the cool guy in my early 20s, and she's probably a year older than me. She's probably like 25 or something like that, and I was 22, she was 23, I was 24, she was 25, something like that. And she was one of those kind of damaged girls that, like Beach Babe, big boobs, blonde hair, long blonde hair. The type of girl that, like, if you were to get her in a video or a photo with her, and she would look like more of a 10 than most of these guys in these social circle events. She would look better than most of them, guaranteed. And we're kind of sleeping with each other, and I'm going at it, and I'm like, I can't feel the sides. It's not like I've got a small dick. It's more like she's got a large vagina. I've got a video on this channel where I interview guys. Does vagina size matter? I recommend you check it out. It's on the channel. And a lot of guys, 100% of the guys, they say vagina size does matter. That's why body count does matter. And that's why avoiding girls with large body count that have had large penises, because it damages their vagina. They can't really feel it anymore. So anyway, this beautiful girl that I think a lot of you guys that like blondes with big boobs would be like, that's a 10. I didn't really enjoy it. I looked at her and I was like, I can't feel the sides. She looked at me. She's like, I can't feel you touching my sides. We looked at each other like, I didn't go to sleep. I didn't sleep with her again. I didn't want to. It wasn't enjoyable, no matter how beautiful she looked. And that's the reality that a lot of these guys aren't telling you. When I look at the videos of these girls that would love pre-selection, because they're always looking for the next biggest thing. Girls that like pre-selection are generally whores. And they kind of just look like kind of damaged women that are going partying all the time, turning up to these events all the time. Whoa, that scared me. I thought, I was like, what is that? Oh, big night. And then it goes back to, what type of girl are you going to date? Are you looking to date a girl, or are you just looking to sleep around with girls that club all the time? And generally, with cold approach, day game, which I teach, you can avoid girls that are on Tinder or hitting the clubs all the time. By engaging in this social circle, sort of, dare I say, scam that's going around at the moment, you're going to find yourself hanging out in nightclubs all the time with, not all, but some are going to be damaged women that you're not going to want to date or even sleep with. And if you do sleep with them, you better have a big dick. A dick a lot bigger than mine, because I know that if I was hanging out with them, I wouldn't be able to feel the sides of 90% of the women that I'm seeing in those videos. They're going to say, you got a small dick. Well, that says everything you need to know about them, because this dick is universal for every virgin on planet Earth. Every virgin on planet Earth can feel this dick. The problem is, a girl that's slept around and has a large body count, if she can't feel it, that's her body count that did that, not me. And that says everything you need to know about that type of woman. And so, if you're getting into this and you want to try and find yourself some good experiences out there, I doubt you're going to find those good experiences with these damaged girls. And that doesn't mean all of the girls are damaged. It just looks like the majority are, to me. I could be wrong. They might all be med students, like my current med student that I've got at the moment. And so the sun's coming up real fast now. Beautiful. Now the thing is, with my beautiful infinity pool penthouse overlooking the city, I still need a large flow of new girls coming in to make it work. And the last couple of days I've decided to just go back to my roots, even though we've got this beautiful place. Just get back to cold approach. Good old-fashioned cold approach. And yesterday I met a beautiful girl, and she came over tonight. I was with my wing. It was a 2-set that we opened up. And she came over tonight, and there's a good chance she probably didn't even tell her friend that I approached with my wing. And so the only people that know that I took her home is really just me. I told my wing, of course, and her. And so let's just say I want to build a rotation, and there's only my wing who's not going to tell anybody, not going to cock block me. He's not going to tell any of my girls. I can build a rotation with total anonymity. She's not connected to my social group. I'm not taking her to these events where she can DM every person in my list if she has a mental breakdown, which a lot of these girls that party all the time tend to do. Go through my Instagram list and just DM every girl. Go, is Dave sleeping with you? Is Dave? And just fuck my entire social circle up because she's having a mental breakdown, which is common. It's actually very common, more common than you might think. And so she's not connected with any of that. So there's where she's only really connected to me. That's the beauty of cold approach. She can't cock block me. And I'm avoiding, because when I approach, I just make sure that I approach girls that they don't seem like they have large body counts or mentally ill, drug addict or dopamine addict nightclub hose. And that also prevents me from getting into a relationship with a girl that has a large body count, likes to sleep around. There's a guy that debated the social circle guy, and he's like, I have sex parties. Sure you do, with girls with large body counts, with large vaginas, and then you're in a relationship making out that you're some sort of a player, when in fact you're finding yourself in an open relationship while she's sucking someone else's dick while being your girlfriend. You don't have game. Cold approach is the ultimate solution to all of that. Because when I see these guys that go clubbing all the time, they're still in the same petri dish. They make out that they're players, but they're just pretty boys getting girls that are good looking, but those girls aren't really committed and in love with them. My beautiful yoga instructor did fall in love with me. It was really hot and heavy, and that's why it was so volatile when she discovered that I was pulling the med student. But luckily, because it's not a social circle sort of a thing, not as bad, my med student doesn't know. So the last couple of days I've been out there just doing DG, doing solid 10 or more hour days out there doing DG, and I pulled a beautiful girl. And so now I've kind of rebuilt a bit of a rotation here. None of them are connected, which is the anonymity that comes with cold approach. You can't really do that if you're building social networks with all of these girls, and all these girls are speaking to each other. And even if they're not speaking to each other, they can look at the profiles of every other girl within your Instagram and check out what they're doing and see if you're in it. And then they can speak to each other if they want. They can DM each other. They can check out each other's... They can speak. And if they come out with you, you might introduce them. And they're already connected. And then if you sleep with two of them and they find out, and one of them actually does have feelings for you, then she's going to lose her mind. And then the problem here with a lot of these social circle proponents, they're pushing this scam. They're going to make out that this is all pre-selection. I just slept with one and then I sleep with the other one, and the others don't care because I'm so alpha. Well, in fact, it's the opposite, because if she was in love with this guy, if any of the girls were in love with him, she wouldn't want him sleeping with anybody else, like my beautiful yoga instructor that just lost her mind at me. They don't want you sleeping around. They want you for themselves if they're in love with you. But if you're nothing to them, then they want an open relationship. Then they want to come to your sex parties and sleep with other guys in front of you. They want to come to your events. They don't care if you sleep around, because they don't care about you. And so if the girls that you're sleeping with have large body counts, large vaginas, let's be realistic, the sex isn't that good, even if you think you're a sex coach. And then at the end of the day, none of them are really falling in love with you. So what are these guys really players? I doubt it. I don't think so. I think that when the girls are actually falling in love with you, that's the sign of a real player. And if you can figure out a way to do that anonymously where they're not connected, isn't that the ultimate game? But anyway, I've been rambling for 25 minutes now. The sun's coming up. I should probably get some sleep. And then I'm going to do an afternoon DG session, proper DG session. Oh, heartburn. Beautiful infinity pool overlooking the city. It's amazing. So if any of you guys want to sign up and do some cold approach coaching, go to my website, sign up, send me a DM, and we can work on finding you, hopefully an innocent girl that doesn't go clubbing, doesn't have all those mental hang-ups and childhood trauma that she's dragging around all the time at the club with her drug and alcohol and dopamine hits. Find yourself a nice, good girl like my yoga instructor that I just lost because I was stupid enough to think that I could outsmart social circle game with all of the connections in front of me. Anyway, you want to learn cold approach and solve it? Sign up, go to my website. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video.